So I'm going to share to you some activities so you can do this but in a document Word, okay? So you're going to send me this by Skype, but I'm going to leave
Okay, teacher.
this task of homework, okay? Why?
Okay.
Because, you know, Cepto preparation is an exam, right? It's speaking, but to achieve these kinds of abilities to communicate with others, we need to speak first. What do you think is first? Speak or write or grammar?
The last time that I did exam was the grammar first, and then was the speaking.
Okay, perfect. That's really good to know that. But in this case, I'm making you a personal question, right?
Okay.
Do you think, like human being, what is first, talk or grammar?
I think that talk.
Talk,
It's
of course.
first.
Speaking first, because when you are a toddler, you only learn to say mama, papa, dad, mom, right? Cat, blah blah. You start to talk, right? And the brain is acquiring and is remembering what, or is trying to understand the real world. So that's why we need to start with speaking, and after grammar is a second issue, right? So
Okay.
in this case, in your native language, Spanish, did you learn to talk or to write?
To talk.
To talk, of course, to speak a lot. After that, in first grade, you are going to learn to read and to write. It's the same in this case. So I'm going to share it right now on my screen. So one moment. Okay, this is the activity, right? So
Okay.
you need to organize these words, these sports, according the images and the letters, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Good to order this. In this case, you need to complete the words that you remember of these sports, right?
Okay.
In the other one, you need to write sentences with these expressions. Do you know what is the meaning of I'm quite fancy and I'm quite queen on?
I'm loose when I quite queen on. What does that
Okay,
mean, teacher?
I'm going to say in Spanish, okay?
Okay.
Estoy interesado en esto bastante,
Ah, okay.
okay? And I quite fancy. Do you understand the meaning of this?
No,
I quite
I don't
fancy.
understand it.
Me gusta bastante.
Ah, okay.
It's the same meaning, but in different order, right? So
Okay.
you need to write 4 sentences with the sports of the first exercise, right? It's like
Okay.
a suggestion. What would you do? What would you like to do? Or I don't know, remember, or if you are going to talk to someone, okay, what sport do you like to practice? So I like the idea of, so recommendations, okay? That's right.
Okay.
The last one you have to write down in this case. I'm going to let you this exercise of grammar because speaking, I don't think this topic it could be interesting. So I'm sorry for saying that, but that's my opinion. I'm teacher and
Mm,
I don't interest that kind of things. But that's why I'm telling you that you do this at home and after you send me this. So you're
okay,
going to
teacher.
write about the sport that you want to practice and no more, okay? So put
Okay.
details in the description and explain your reasons. So I'm going to share to you the link. You're going to do this. If you want, you can send me this material at 8:30 maybe. I don't know if you can at that time.
I just going to try to do it in that moment because I have a class
Mhm.
until 10. So I have the class 8 to 9 and 9 to 10. I'm going to try to
Okay,
send it
okay,
using
perfect,
the mom.
perfect, perfect, perfect. So if you want, you can send me this work at 11. Can you?
Oh, yes, teacher is better.
Okay, at 11. Perfect. So the idea is that you do the exercise and send me the exercise, okay? It's to have an
Okay, teacher.
evidence, to have an evidence that we work in the topic, right? But I don't know, but in this case, they give me some topics. In this case, the top board topics that I don't like to give classes. So for that reason, sometimes I arrive
Oh, yes.
home really tired, and after this, it's really it's really hard. I don't know. I don't like that kind of things.
Yes.
The present simple is composed by subject. It's really bored, so I like to teach in real environments, right? In this case, speaking.
Okay.
So in the speaking Cepto preparation, they ask you some personal information, analyzing images about some context on topics, or I don't know if you have heard about the Cambridge exam. See what
Yes, I heard.
things that so they make you simple questions, but you need to answer in a complex way. So you need to talk, to talk,
Okay.
to talk, and only to talk and no more, right? And grammar
Okay.
is it's a little exam of grammar, right? The important thing is that you control or you have abilities to communicate on real situations. For example, if you go to another country, how um, how would you do if something is wrong there if you don't understand the language? So how could you communicate to others, right?
Okay.
So now, I really want to share to you. I don't know if you are seeing this in your career or you are studying this in your career. The total physical response.
I think that yes, I just checked it in some point in what is the material? Investigation, I think. I checked that topic.
Okay, so tell me a little about the total physical response. I really would like to talk about this.
A ver si I remember something. The total physical response is, for example, when you're giving a task or you are giving a topic and you check like in the face the student's reaction, like if they're sleepy or they're happy or they are paying attention or if they are touching his hair, playing with hair and it's like nothing happened. I think that is the total physical response, how you observe the behavior of the person when you are talking, when you are doing something with him or to give something about him.
Okay, that's a really good point of view. That's right. The reactions of students and teacher, of course, you know that it's important to review the behaviors of teacher when he
Yes.
gives the class. If teacher is stressful, students will be, probably will.
Yes, of course.
If teacher is happy, is really emotive, so students will be too. But in this case, I'm going to explain you something of this total physical response so you can use it for you in your exam preparation or um, with your students, okay? So
Okay.
total physical response, like the phrase says in Spanish, respuesta física inmediata. So what is the meaning? This method is really interesting. Why? Because you are talking the language in a non-verbal way. Do you know what is a non-verbal way?
Yes.
So, for example, if you say to a first grader student, hello, this is the meaning of hola, right? Hello. So you repeat a lot of times, hello, hello, hello. He is going to memorize this immediately, right? So when you only with the movement of your body, what is the meaning of this?
Hello?
Hello, right? So it sounds really, I don't know, pathetic, but it's a fact. I have used with my students and it's really good. It's really good to learning and to teaching English. So in this case, if you have difficulties to memorize something, for example, verbs, I don't know, verbs in the third tenses, so past, infinitive, and past participle, you can do this. You can practice this method. So how could you do this? So for example, the verb build, I guess, build,
Okay.
build, built in past and in past participle, built, right? So you are going
Okay.
to repeat these movements until you memorized, and when you forget this in an exam, you are going to say the movements. So for example, built and built in past participle, right? So when you do the movements like this way, you will remember this kind of things, right? So you can use it when you are stressful, when your mind doesn't stand anymore. You can practice this exercise with your students in a future way. So you can use it to adults, also to adolescents, and to children. It's a really efficient method to practice English. So the idea is that you use the nonverbal way and you encourage your students to practice without fear, right? So you know that
Okay.
sometimes your students feel scared because they don't know what to say. Oh my God, I forgot it. So when you make a movement, remember what is the meaning of this. So he immediately, okay, build, and the
Okay.
brain is going to remember. Okay, because it is a long term. It's a long term in your brain. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Now, do you have any question about this until now?
No, teacher. I'm fine.
Okay, excellent. So now, so we are going to came back to the other topic that we were talking about, and it's
Okay.
about tell me something that happened the last week on your day, on your daily, on your week, on your personal life.
Mm, okay. Probably I was finishing to check evaluations, final evaluations, and the students are really worried about if they are going to lose my material or not. And the last time in six C that I give class, a student lose my material this period, and she just closed up to me and told me, but like with annoying voice, with that annoying tone, and told me, teacher, you have to give me a workshop to pass your material. And I was like, what? Like, no, I'm not going to do that. You have the opportunity. It's okay. No, teacher, you must be, because you have, that's for why that teachers pay you. That's for why here paying you. So you have to leave me a task. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. If you can go to talk to the coordinator or whatever that you want, but I'm not going to do that. And she was like, I'm going to speak like whatever, a lot of things. And I was like, what? Our kids like are 10 years old and they just talking about things like that. And I know that probably it wasn't her idea, was mom's or dad's ideas that to talk to that way to teachers, or just say in that way, and she just repeating it. And I was like, what is that kind of example? And I'm not going to that every word, like forget it. But it's like how you're talking like to the kids and learning to the kids. Like tomorrow when she grow up, she's going to be in big problems with teachers that probably I'm not going to be nicer. I'm just going to, I don't know, talk with somebody else, and she's going to get in really big trouble for that.
Yeah, you know that parents do the possible to convey their sons to do something that is wrong, right? But you know that it's like you put tasks, right? So
Yeah.
please draw the ecosystem. So ecosystem. So when you
Yes.
when you see the task, it's really beautiful. It's colorful.
It's
With it's beautiful. It's unexplained, right?
yes.
Do you know how they work on class? You know that they draw a circle and two hands, two legs, and you know the landscape of them. There are with a little of green, the clouds with circles. You know, it's really simple.
Yes.
And
It's like,
yeah,
sorry, that's a job, but thank you.
you really did your task, your homework? Yes, teacher, I did. But in some cases, they tell you, no, my father did me the homework. No, you have
Yeah.
to do it. And why they lose the subject? Because parents do the homework of children. That's not right. And that's why they don't comprehend or they don't understand some issues or topic on the class, right?
That's right.
I understand. Okay. So, do you have any question or no?
No,
No more?
no, it's all clear.
Okay. Okay. So, how did you feel today in this class?
I think that was a funny class because we can talk about a lot of topics that we used to don't talk a lot. So it's interesting how we can apply a lot of vocabulary and we can talk more because it's important.
That's right. Remember, it doesn't matter what difficult could be the Cepto exam, right? You need to talk, to speak. I think that's a natural approach to do it. It's the best thing to do it. And not with exercise A, B, C, or D. Yes, I know that you need to hear or to listen some audios, but
Okay.
to comprehend this, you need to listen to the other one in real situations. And after that, your brain is going to order, okay, I could put some options when you are going to prepare a Cepto exam, for example. I don't know. If you're going to make an example. So I'm going to talk about, I don't know, um, Christmas, Christmas of this year. Okay. After that, you're going to select or to order the options A, B, C, or D. It's the same. So there are people behind all the Cepto exam that prepare audios and they only make questions according they listened. It's the same. So I recommend you that you do this exercise at home. So thinking a topic, I know it, and you can apply to your students if you want. So, for example, the topic it could be about, I don't know, personal information, I guess. So you're going to create an audio or a conversation. So student A or person A. Okay, hello. I'm uh, I'm a student of English class, blah, 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 and like this way, right? You are going to record this. When you finish this, you are going to propose answers and questions, like a kind ifs, okay? So
Okay.
you're going to propose answers, questions, and after that, you are going to propose it to your students, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to play the recordings. They will listen this, and after you make the questions. Okay, the first one. What do you think is the option of this part according the audio? And you make and you apply the Cepto exam, right? Also with images. Remember, A Cepto exam includes in the answers images, not words, but images. So, for example, in the audio, what was the most important part? So, in the option A, it shows a man building something. In the option B, sorry, a girl is eating something. In the option C,
Okay.
you are teaching some issue of subject, right? You invent.
Okay.
Remember that the graphics are more important than something written. In this case, to use with primary school, right? With secondary, you can use both of them, images and simple phrases, okay? Okay, that's so clear?
Teacher, can you repeat the question? It was yes, 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 yes. It was
Yeah.
clear. I was just something because was a little bit like se entrecortó mucho la llamada, but it's okay.
Turn off your camera if you want. Yes, I'm going to turn off my camera because I can't hear you. Okay, now, please, what is the question?
Better? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Teacher, can you repeat the question? It's just because I don't listen well. I didn't listen well.
Okay, okay. The question is that if you understood all topic, do you need some questions? Do you need to make some
Oh.
suggestions? Something like that?
Oh, okay. No, teacher, I really like your class because we can talk a lot with you, and it's interesting how we can talk like freedom with somebody that have like the same level here in the classes because most of the time a lot of teachers like don't like follow your level or you just get the inscriptions in classes that are a little bit basic but you don't have more option. So it's interesting how we can talk with a teacher that have a great level on English.
Yes, I understand you. I understand you a lot because I passed for that where you are. Because you know that there are teachers that follow a system, right? I don't follow that system. I don't like. I prefer to do what I like to do to teach. The best way to teach because there are people that is bored. I don't know, is bored about the class and they don't want to know nothing about the class. Oh, it's bored. I want that it is finished right now. I don't understand anymore. Right? I understand you. I understand you. That's right, but you know that there are people that are making pedagogical practices, okay? So maybe
Yes.
they are in an observation or an immersion practice. So in the immersion practice is more difficult because you know that there are a lot of people that they are starting to make the immersion practice.
Teaching. Yes,
And
I know.
yes, and it's difficult. I know it's understandable. I know that not nobody or I don't know. I don't consider that I know all, but but I try to do the best, right? And I understand that kind of people. I know because they want to maybe they don't have a bad way or they don't want to give you a bad class. They only follow the system, right? But in my case,
Yes.
I'm making
That's
like
right.
immersion pedagogical practices, but I try to do the best because I have a lot of experience teaching. Maybe 2 years ago, and I'm working now apart to the university, right? But I try to do the best.
Oh,
That's
yes,
so.
that's right.
That's so. So that's why I try to give the classes and I don't follow the topics. I don't follow something like that. And I prefer to let of homework this kind of exercise that university put, right? So
Yes, that's right.
mhm. So that's so. I think that's so. I understand you a lot, and for that's why I do my classes like this way. So I'm really happy for this because it means that I'm doing a really good job.
Yes, teacher, you are doing a good job. Teacher, I have to leave. I have another class.
Yes,
See
yes,
you
of
one
course.
more.
Go ahead, no problem. So take care of you and see you in next class.
Thank you, teacher. Bye bye. See you next
Thanks to
class.
you. See you.